just taking it. Alright. Hell yeah. Alright, I think we're live, but we're just hanging out. I'm on 20 minutes early, so that's kind of exciting. So, but yeah, we're just hanging out for a quick second here. I was supposed to do this at 6, but I might be doing something kind of after 6, so I figured, well, you know what, we'll come on a little early, and we're going to hang out for a hot minute here. So, alright. Yeah, things like we're good. I'm slapping a couple ads on in the stream. I apologize, but yeah, I gotta make a couple bucks, man. So we're gonna move this bad boy over here, so you guys don't have to see what the heck I'm doing. It's funny too. My YouTube short things the other day got like demonetized like instantly. If the music's loud, let me know. But I just wanted some music on in the background. I think it's not too bad so far. So. Yeah, no, I thought it was interesting. I did some movie reviews, and they just got like instantly like they're like limited monetization, which I thought was really weird because I don't think I swore in them either. Yeah, I don't understand. We just jumped up a couple legs. I do appreciate that, guys. Thank you. You're awesome. You're sick. We're just hanging out for a quick second. Just ASMR. Listen to me drink water. Yeah. So what's going on, Nikki D? Yeah, like I said, we're doing a live stream. We're on a little bit earlier. So I might finish, not longer, like not too long after 6, but we're gonna make up the time going earlier. So we'll figure that out. I'm just kind of waiting on someone to hear from them. But regardless, it'll be like at least a minimum of like a 45-minute one, which is what I wanted anyway. Okay, I'm just being told on YouTube. I haven't streamed in a while, man. It's telling me that like the bit rate's kind of higher than expected. Yo, what's going on? Tennis Champ, thanks for coming in, man. Appreciate it. So for today's stream, we have a nice little lineup today. So we're going to be talking about, as the classic, the Reddit date fails. You know, people go on Reddit and they talk about their worst date fails that they've ever had, usually online dating related. So we're going to be reading some of those. I have something about a dating app review that I'd really like to share. It's going to be its own video, but I figure you guys can get a sneak peek at that. So, we'll just do that live. I'm not going to just play a video or something. But yeah, we have something to talk about there. That's with the Raya dating app. So Raya dating app. And then if we have a few extra minutes, I'm going to talk about kind of the dating app reviews coming up. And I'll put a poll out, maybe even live. We can put the poll up live of what I'm going to be doing next. But it's basically between Raya, The League, or Field. Field is I don't even remember. I think it's like a poly app, if I remember correctly. Could be wrong there. The League was recommended to me, and Raya was recommended to me, and Raya's not going well, so that's what we're probably going to start the video with, potentially. Yeah, man. That's kind of the lineup. I see we got a few people. Thanks for coming in, boys. So I'll just kind of, again, before we get into the meat and potatoes, meat and gravy of the stream, I'm going to stream every week. I'm really dedicating to it. I've been really putting that off. I know my streams have been kind of all over the place, man. But yeah, we're going every week. We're going hard. So, like, I'm already half chubbed right now. So, yeah, man, so we're going in. It's not guaranteed it'll be a Thursday. I put Thursday, like, that's just to toss it out there. But I'd like to kind of do, like, same time, same day. That would be really ideal, because I think what I try to do right now with YouTube is I try to be very consistent. I try to have it, like, every couple days, you know a video's coming out, right? Every about 3 days. So I'd like to do that with the stream, because it would help people know, like, when is that guy going to be live? Oh, okay, cool, he streams Thursdays. Something like that. I wouldn't see more than once a week, but yeah, that's the plan. Tennis Champ, I've heard of Raya for celebrities and famous people. Yeah, apparently. That's what I know. Let's go to the Googles right now. What do we got here? Yeah, so this Raya dating app, so Raya is a private membership-based social network application. That's a fancy term for it's a dating app. Yeah, it was initially a dating app, but apparently now it's not so much. Well, I was recommended to still check it out anyway. We are going to talk about it. Like I said, that's not been going very, very well, to be quite honest. I find it interesting. It doesn't even have, it's funny that it's just black. it's just blackout. Yeah, it's not been going well. The League is what I'm probably going to be actually doing the review on. Oh, I don't have to go to Google, whatever. But yeah, that's probably what we're doing. Oh my god, what the hell's happening here? Can't go to Google? I got uBlock on, man. It doesn't like it. Yeah, let's just see real quick. Oh yeah, don't worry. Oh, you want to see Pornhub? I get some bookmarks, man. There's nothing wrong with Pornhub. It's funny that people always try to say that that's like a gotcha thing, that they can look at my history and see like some girl getting boned. I mean, I don't care. It's Pornhub. We all look at it. Don't go to the Google screen again now, man. No, I'm gonna go to the Google screen again. You're gonna look at it. Go look at some fucking kink shit. Don't worry, if I just go all bookmarks right there, you'll see it. There's just some P-Hub videos listed. But yeah, this is the other one I was gonna go to as well. I just find that really kind of weird, by the way. 17 plus. That's just really weird. I don't like that at all. Like, could you imagine going on there and they're like, she's like, oh, I'm not really 20, I'm 17. I'd be like, bro, like the police are inbound. And also, yeah, I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, this is gonna be another one as well. Pay or wait. Oh Jesus. What is this? Are there really people on this app? Because I've done everything needed to be verified. Seems like a money scheme to make a waiting list of 1 million. Oh yeah, okay. Loves it. Yeah, no, man. You just embrace the Pornhub, man. I don't care. I mean, in fact, I think it's funny. Yeah, this is so let's get into Rhea. We'll talk about Rhea first, because that's again the kind of the meat and potatoes of today. Well, aside from the date fails. So Rhea, again, as you know, is kind of like, I was just looking at it. Technically, it's a dating app. Technically, and it was recommended by one of you guys. I don't remember who the heck commented it, but somebody commented it, and they were like, "Hey, can you look at this?" And I was like, "All right." So. We got some just blank pictures here. I'll just toss them up on the screen just so you can kind of get an idea what's talking about. So this is kind of like the initial, not that picture there. Not that one either. You can't do arrows on here? That's kind of gay. Okay, so here's the first picture. This will just be in its own video, by the way, coming out probably in a few days to a week. Probably a week, but you'll get a sneak peek now. So yeah, so this picture here is Rhea. This is like the app. This is iOS. So the first thing that you can notice is there's just two options. Normally, like with these dating apps, that you'll have like a sign-in option. You don't have it. You have it, but you can't sign in until you apply for like a membership. So yeah, you get to apply for membership, and you get to check the status of that. So you're like, okay. Most people, they'll be like, okay, cool. That's not the one I'm looking for there. That's not it either. Okay, I think it just goes to, like, for your number. That's what it just asks for right away. This isn't it. We'll talk about that maybe too. Yeah, so it asks your phone number, and then after that, first name, last name, email. I just put my burner, and then your Instagram. And I find it funny that it's mandatory to put an Instagram in. So I just initially put like LOL at like 123, right? Whatever. As my Instagram username. I didn't really care. I changed it after, but I put that initially. Your industry, your work, your company. I guess you didn't have to put that, so I just put like Halifax. I'm in Halifax, Canada, and I was like, yo, I'm gonna work in IT. I was like, okay, cool. Because, yeah, I hadn't experienced this. I didn't know that this is what it was. And then this notification comes up. This is the last screen you'll get. So it goes, we will notify you regarding your application via push notification. Then it tries to get you notifications. I just turned it off. Afterward, you get an email to, like, verify your email. I was like, all right. I haven't got anything on Instagram. You could add a referral. I thought this was really funny that, like, potentially someone who's already in the site could, like, refer you in, which was, like, kind of comical to me. And yeah, again, we'll talk about that in a second. And then this is where I'm on right now. It's been 3 days, full 3 days, like 72 hours of sitting there. And this is what it does. So it just gives you the information. So again, I put like my Instagram. I was like, apparently that helps me get in. Add referrals, don't have any. And then I can learn more about the site, which I haven't bothered to do. And every time I open the app, it just goes to this screen. It will not bypass this. So apparently, if we were to assume this, I would believe correctly. I am being manually reviewed with my Instagram. For some reason, that makes... I don't know what they're looking for. Could you imagine if you had a private Instagram and they were looking at it? Like, I don't understand how someone is supposed to look at me posting pictures on Instagram and go, yeah, let's let this guy into this on our site. Just 1 second, guys. I gotta, I'm just talking to a guy here. My buddy after. Yeah, so we'll be like half an hour. I think I'm chilling with him after. So that's why I wanted to start the stream earlier. So I won't be as long after 6. Something kind of, that's the thing. Something's always gonna pop up, but we'll still do half an hour minimum. So, or like it'll be like 40 minutes. But yeah, so I just thought that was really interesting. So that, like, to me, like, you really don't want anyone clearly joining. And if you do want them to join, I think the majority of people would be very turned off when they see this. because they're not going to wait. Like, it's been 3 full days, right? And I haven't heard anything. I'm going to look right now. Watch this. Ready? Guarantee. I bet you $1,000. It's exactly the same. Literally right there. It hasn't moved. It's absolutely heinous. There's really no reason to gatekeep a dating app that much. I mean, I'm going to call it a dating app. Apparently, it's not a dating app. I mean, it started as a dating app. So, I don't know if you guys could see that, by the way, on the phone. I don't know if you really could. I think it was still kind of a blur, but you get the idea. It was there. The other thing I want to talk about before we get into the Reddits is I think I uploaded both of them. I have a 9/11 video. That's kind of funny. I think I saved those off someone's. I shouldn't show that. Those are 9/11 videos, man. They're really bad. They're really serious. There was a Google Drive where someone uploaded like a bunch of 9/11 stuff, and I just kind of wanted to go look at it. So I was like, I think you could just download it. Yeah, dude, it's for famous people or super hot girls. Yeah, you know what? Unfortunately, you're probably correct. That's a big problem. But I want to check it out. I want to see. You know, it was recommended, right? That's what I do. If you guys recommend me a dating app, trust me, I will do it. I will go look at it. If there's content to be had, I will do it. I think this is all I had. Yeah, so I'll just throw this out here, too. So, I mean, I thought I had a second picture with this. So, Bumble the other day updated, and it gave me this new feature that it was, like, popped up right away. So, it wants you to do, like, your astrology, right? And I was like, all right, cool. So, I thought this was kind of interesting that it, like, puts this now on my profile, and I guess people can, like, look at it. And I thought it was funny. Nick knows how to commit, especially in love and skincare. If the vibes are off, they'll be the first one. And I love it's not he'll be the first one. It's they'll be the first one. That's funny. To sound the alarm, to the center of the social circle and radiate warmth. Warmth, bro. Warmth. I knew a girl. I gotta get this. This emoji thing is right where the chat is. It's so annoying. I knew a girl who was on it and had met and banged a dude. Brody Smith, who's famous for frisbee. I was about to tell you, by the way, I had no sweet clue who Brody Smith was. I don't know celebrities very well, but like that just was not ringing a bell. All right. Okay. Yeah. I don't think the leagues, we don't need to look at the reviews really right now. We'll be doing that in its own video. Yeah, they're not looking pretty good. Horrible sign-up process. Oh, okay, let's read that. Let's read this and we'll get to Reddit. Okay, you get the app and you start to make an account. This is for the league, by the way. The league dating app. So yeah, you get the app, you start to make an account. Your account is put on a waitlist for review until it's approved by the league team. I really don't like that they do this. You got to keep in mind, right? So, like, most people... Okay, I would think this, right? You guys would probably agree with me. Most people probably use Bumble, Tinder, or Hinge, or a combination of the three, right? Most people, right? If you're going to try online dating, what would you rather do? Would you rather use a well-known app that's probably got a lot of people on it, or a really obscure app that could maybe have a cool feature, right? They're going to go to the ones they know. So this is the problem, is this is already an obscure app that not a lot of people are probably using, and they're gatekeeping it by making a waitlist. Let's just say it's 24 hours. Let's be generous and say that it was a 24-hour waitlist, okay? And then you got manually approved in or denied. How they do that, that's up to them. But 24 hours, let's be generous. 24 hours is probably long enough that most people won't bother. Like, if it was like an hour, that even might be long. Like, most people, right, will just go in and do a photo verification and call it a day. But the fact that you can't even join the site without that is rough. Okay, no, okay, we're going to be a little longer in the stream. That's good. I'm just timing it out with Buddy. Yeah, I'm just timing it out. Okay, perfect. He's got 2.2 million subs on YouTube and, okay, and like 900K basically on Instagram. Yeah, I mean, good for him. I don't know. Yeah, I don't really pay attention to the big channels either on YouTube. I mean, I guess I do a little bit. Like, I watch some Moist Critical or something. But, I mean, I don't watch a lot of those guys religiously, right? So, you know, I'm a small channel, man. I like being small. Like hanging out. Your account is put on a waitlist for review until it is approved by the league team. Your account will only be considered for review if you put in education and professional information. Like, what education and professional information? That's what I want to know. You can only put that in by connecting the account to your LinkedIn. Oh, my God. Dude, I don't own LinkedIn. That's going to be a problem. I don't have a LinkedIn account. I don't want to make one. Or by paying for a premium account, which costs an astronomical amount, ranging from $67 to $200 a month. You can't be serious, honestly. I actually haven't looked into the league, by the way, yet. I have it on my notes that it's the next one after Rhea. But this, yeah, this isn't looking good. What hot nonsense is that? Once you connect your account to a LinkedIn account, there's no way to edit the education or professional info, nor, again, can you even submit your profile to review without that information. I get why they do it this way, but it's not very considerate of people's privacy. I work at a very specific place with very few employees, and I do not want some random to be able to literally find me in person based off my online dating profile. But there was no way around divulging that kind of specific information without the premium. This is hella flawed and kept me from being able to even make an account. Do better. Not everyone wants to give all their personal private details. Oh, wow, that's really bad. That is really bad. There's really no way around this. I love that they got the developer response. Thank you for your time to submit such a detailed review. You were able to view membership tiers and perks by visiting the... Okay, let's look at it. Let's look at it. This is a prize that we're going to do in the stream. I didn't realize we were going to do this today, and I'm happy we're doing it. The league does not require LinkedIn accounts and limit users' control over editing their... Okay. Let's do it. Okay, here we go. Here we go, guys. Oh, God. Okay. Text me the app. What does that mean? Oh, you can text it. It'll, like, give you a link to download it. If you're picky, busy, and don't like wasting time, membership is for you. Become a member, increase speed, quantity... Oh, jeez. Video date? What is this? Oh, God. Go on a date. Go on dates in 9 minutes. Honestly, I'm not even opposed to that if that's a feature of the app. That's actually a pretty good feature, and I think a lot of dating apps should do this. They should have a live feature. They should really do. Like, they really should. It's such a way better way for people to get comfortable and meet someone and realize right away if you're interested or not without even having to meet them. You don't even have to leave your home. There's nothing wrong with that. Get on a call. Get on a video call. It's such a smart idea. Yeah, we're gonna check this out, like, in depth. But I'm kind of interested in the app itself right now, the site itself. This looks like it's gonna hold my interest quite a bit. Okay, let's move along. All right, we're going to Reddit. Yeah, so like I'm saying, this is the meat and bones. We're gonna read some fails, and we're gonna see what's going on. I quickly gave a skim through this, but we're gonna just see what we got. Obviously, we want the bad ones. Yeah, we don't want anything successful. All right, I don't like that one. Alright, give me a minute, guys. We're just gonna... This is what we do. We skim along, and we just see it. I read the first couple lines, and if I like them. Oh, that was an anniversary. I don't want to read that. No successful ones. It makes us feel bad. Yes, man. Dude, that's what I mean, man. We don't need to read that crap. That's no fun. Oh, here we go. Alright, we got a story. The worst date I've ever been on was an awkward dinner. I go to a bar, I know classy, right? We get drunk, so both of us, and she runs into some college friends, ditches me for about 45 minutes. I hang in there getting drunk and pissed, and by the time she comes back, I'm wasted. Tell her what I think about her, and she apologizes. Married her later. I don't want to read that. No, I will say, though, that's, I don't really like drinking that much on a date. Like, if I'm gonna go for drinks, I'll have, like, one or two. It also just really cheap, too, to be, like, it's a lot cheaper. But, yeah, just to do that kind of stuff is always really bad. Oh, this is best/worst on a Reddit post. Okay, here we go. We got a worst one. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Finally. Okay. Date from online. Exactly. This is how they always go. Take her out to dinner. She shows up looking better than her photos. Okay, I'm gonna stop you guys right there, by the way. How often do you ever hear of a story where, like, either the girl or the guy shows up to a date and they look better in person? That's incredible. We got Super Spacefish. Thanks for coming in, man. Thanks for coming and checking out the stream. Thanks. And PAS, thanks for coming in too, boys. I already called out Tennis Champ. You don't get a second call out. You get one. Not allowed. You're not allowed to have two. Yeah, so good start. Good start. We banter back and forth for a few hours. Things are going really well. She invites me back to her place to play Super Mario. You know what? I'm not going to lie. I'd have a good time with that. There's this girl, Angela, I know. She could be watching the stream. I doubt it, but she could be watching. If she is, she knows what's going on. Now, there's old school Mario where you can play, like, one-on-one mode, and I'm telling you, I literally just slayed her. That was 30 years of Mario experience versus 20 minutes. Like, I even did the strat where you can, like, because it's the old school, like, it's literal old school Mario. You could play it on, like, Mario All-Stars on the SNES, and I think in the arcades too, where you would just be like Koopas and shit in like one map, one little level, and one screen, and you would just like hit a brick where they were on, they would fall over and you could kick them. So I would hit the brick, she'd run over to get the Koopa to steal the point, and then I'd hit him again so he'd pop up and kill her. Dude, good times. Okay, so we played Super Mario, huge win, because there are way more women that want to have sex with you than ones that want to play video games with you. She goes to the bathroom and about 30 minutes go by. Now, I've had my share of upset stomachs before, but 30 minutes, that's a long time. I am concerned and go to knock on the door, and there's no answer. And she wouldn't have left, right? Well, that's a dumb strategy. Yeah, she wouldn't leave. I could just camp or steal shit. I thought it's funny he said camp. I break into the bathroom with the inside of a disassembled pen, doorknob with a small hole. Okay, he like picked the lock with a pen? That's wild. Anyway, I open the door to find her passed out on the floor with a rubber band tied around her arm and an empty needle lying on the floor. Ooh, God. Yeah, that's totally the comment below that is Requiem a dream. That is completely correct. That's super sketchy, man. I'm not really into many people that I'm not really into people who do drugs. If you were to like smoke like cannabis, that's fine. That's like very recreational to me. If you're like, oh man, I'm hooked on Xanax, we'd have a problem. Okay, here we go. Probably not the worst, but pretty recent. That's what we're talking about. Okay, went out with a guy a couple times, realized he was maybe a little too emotional and obsessed with me. We've all been there before. I told him I just wanted to be friends and wasn't interested in anything more. Then all hell broke loose. I think right there, by the way, that's a big fear I think that people have, and not only women too, but mainly women. Is they're really afraid to tell people like dudes that'll be like, hey man, I'm not really feeling it, because they're scared that there'll be like some kind of like backlash, you know? Or they'll try to like guilt them or manipulate them into like continuing, where I think they really shouldn't. But it is an unfortunate truth of the world, you know, that is what happens, and like guys do it, you know, unfortunately. And I'm not saying like guys do it more, but I think they do. I feel like they would, just because like, you know, like in this exact situation, right? Like we have I feel like guys do have a general tougher time with online dating. Men and women have a hard time on online dating, but I think guys maybe have it a bit harder. I don't know. I just feel like there's more dudes and less women, and we have less matches, we have less to work with, we have less of anything, but women just have like really terrible matches overall usually, and too many of them. But like, yeah, in this one, like in this example, like, yeah, like that's the thing, you shouldn't be afraid to tell someone like you're not really feeling the relationship or wherever it is, right, the dating. But like, yeah, just to like, I'm not giving this guy a pass either. I think that's an incredibly unprofessional way to go about it. Just take it like a champ. At worst, like, just ask, like, maybe what it was, right? I had a recent girl, we were agreed to a date, and then, like, she was down for a date, and 2 hours later, she told me that she wasn't feeling me, and I did ask her why. I normally don't bother, but I was like, oh, wow, that's kind of odd. Like, you were down, like, 2 hours ago. You were down this afternoon. Like, what changed your mind? And she said that my profile made me look too introverted, and I was like, oh, that's a new one. Like, I called my buddy, and I was like, my friend Becca, and I was like, oh, hey, like, do you think I'm introverted by any chance? And she was like, no, you're the most extroverted person I know. And I was like, all right, well, what do I know? I received let's continue here. I received multiple full-blown crying Snapchats saying, you're the kind of girl people write songs about. Yeah, I'd block that guy immediately, bro. The more crying Snapchats asking me if he sent a picture of his penis by accident. I can only guess that was somehow to make me jealous. Okay, he didn't send the picture. Well, I figured that was coming. Wow. Yeah, that's also why I don't add people on social media. Like, I don't have Snapchat. I have an Instagram and I have Reddit. That's literally what I have. And YouTube, I guess. But yeah, I'm not going to add you, like, on Instagram. I don't see a point. I don't add your phone number. If I meet you online dating, like, from online dating, and we're just chatting, we're just chitting away, and then, like, it's like, oh, okay, I'm going to, you know, let's agree to a date. We're going to keep it on the dating app. Only after the dating app would I even bother getting a girl's number. I'm not going to bother anymore. It's just a waste of time. Like, especially in this, because now she has to go through the trouble, and not even like it's going to take a long process, but she has to go through that on Snapchat and like block this guy. And God only knows what you're going to send them, right? Or what you're going to get sent. Like, crying Snapchats. Could you imagine how embarrassing that would be? Like, to receive that? Alright, we're going to skip the good post here. We'll go right down to the worst one. Yeah. Okay, I think that's good. I have it zoomed in a little bit, so if I'm cropping it out, let me know if you guys want to read what I'm reading here. Okay, worst date. Unlike a lot of the other posts there, this date was bad because of me. Oh, I like these. I like a self-reflection, because that's what I do. I used to box quite a bit in high school, and after a solid month of convincing, I finally got this girl to go on a date with me. That could be a problem, to be quite honest. It sounds like a brute force attack. I know about one of those recently. She was gorgeous, blonde cheerleader, super nice girl, and that's what took forever to get her to go on a date with me. I don't think she really trusted me or felt comfortable around me. That's really telling, by the way, too. I would almost say that she wasn't interested, but the fact that he's admitting that she probably didn't feel comfortable around him, why would that be, right? Like, does he just have, like, a negative energy around her? You know, what would make her feel like that, right? Like, I'm not saying that she should automatically feel comfortable around her, but, like, he's clearly, like, talked to her for a while or something. You know, I find that interesting. I'll read your comment in 2 seconds, Tennis Champ. Be right with you. I do see that you wrote something. I think you're criticizing me, but I appreciate that. But let's get into this. My friends and I were really rowdy and dumb. Yeah, okay, this is not good. Anyway, the date was set for Saturday night, but I had a fight on Friday. I had recently moved up a weight class and got pretty beat up. So anyway, we were just going to dinner and a movie, typical high school stuff. So I pick her up and go to dinner. I really don't like the dinner date, by the way. I used to. The dinner and the movie, because the whole idea is you could talk during dinner and be quiet during the movie if it went awkward. Yeah, it's not a good idea. And it's bloody expensive, too, if you're paying for it. You are out a lot of money. And if you're just going to get ghosted after that, that's unfortunately what like some women get notorious for, is like just going out with guys and being like, oh, that was a free meal. And, you know, it's not good. Not all women do that, obviously. But, yeah, it's not a good time. Not a good time for everybody. Anyway. Yeah, so anyway. So I pick her up, we go to dinner. Dinner goes well. She's actually opening up to me and stuff. I could tell she was super shy. As we're leaving, I opened the door for her and turned away for her to sneeze. And sure enough, blood goes everywhere. Oh, he sneezed. Okay. I mean, like, it's a volcano of blood. She runs back inside and grabs napkins, but we can't get my nose to stop bleeding. So she goes right to down to the hospital, right down the road, and we sit in the ER for like an hour, and turns out I have a pretty bad cut on the inside of my nose, and sneezing ripped it open. So they... Okay. Wow. Okay, and they didn't really talk much after that. You know what's funny, by the way, too? That actually could almost have led into a successful story. Okay, let's read out what we got here. Bro, you gotta get the girl's number before the date. These girls have so many matches, combos. You gotta get them to texting ASAP. You know, I'm gonna argue you, Tennis Champ, but I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this, okay? So, I used to think like that. This is not like some red pill bullcrap, okay? But, like, I just used to think like that. And you know what? The only success I've ever had on online dating, okay? I'm just gonna be completely honest. I'm an average looking dude, okay? Like, I don't have a lot of success on it, right? I'm not a prophet. I'm not teaching you how to do this, okay? For women or men. I just kind of stopped trying. I'm not gonna lie to you. I just, like, stopped putting in effort. I downloaded Bumble, and because it was just swiping left or right. That's all it was, right? In Bumble, you don't even have to send the first message. It's ingenious. I just sit there. That's all I did. And you know what's funny? I literally got a girlfriend out of it. I literally got a girlfriend. I literally had a girlfriend by doing nothing, and she was obsessed with me. It was actually kind of funny, because it was like, all that time I was really like, you know, on Hinge, right? You're trying these like creative messages. You're trying to get the number, right? To try to get off the dating app. And I agree. You should make a move off the dating app. 100%. So what I did instead of getting the phone number is I made the move to meet in person. I just moved that instead. So instead of being like, hey, can I get your number within like, say, a week? Let's say 5 days of texting on Hinge. Instead of going, can I get your number, and then texting for a bit longer, I actually just go, hey, do you want to meet up this weekend? And then that's where I go. And if the date goes well, I just get her number at the date, or like in person, right? And if for some reason I didn't get it, then I know she wasn't interested, and it's perfect. I also stopped doing like kissing and stuff on the first date too, because of what's like the frequency of being ghosted. So that's why when I tell people that the hug is the first way to go, especially on a coffee or something, just give them a hug, right? And then if they want to see you again, then you kiss them on the second date. But if you're gonna just, unless they make a move. But I don't know, I'm not that good at like reading body language, right? Per se. So I like to just kind of like take a seat back and play it casual. I think Spacefish, someone was saying, yeah, dinner date is stupid, way too expensive. 99% of people agree drinks or coffee first date. 100%. I don't like being criticized on coffee. I'm not going to lie to you, because I like the coffee date. I think it's ingenious. If you've, like, here's my philosophy. If you meet someone in person, okay, like let's say I met Sarah at the bar, right? I wouldn't invite her out to coffee 9 times out of 10, which, I mean, this whole situation's a hypothetical. It's not going to happen. But yeah, I'm not going to invite you for coffee. I've met you, right? But if I matched you on Bumble, it's been a week, and we agree to a date, I'm going to take you to coffee, right? Because now there's no stigma of who the heck's paying, right? I know apparently the guy is always supposed to pay, or the other one, of like whoever asks out the other one is supposed to pay. I'm telling you, I've been asked out by women and they didn't pay. So I don't care. But if it's a coffee, it's like $4, right? Like literally $4, okay? I just whip out 2 toonies and I've paid. So it's not a big deal, right? And it's also like such a low commitment. It's very casual. It can be like an afternoon. Like you can just plan your day around it. I could be like, yeah, I'll go watch Pornhub for the morning for the plot, and then I'm gonna go hang out with Sarah, and then I'm gonna go do something else, right? You have your whole day to work around this one thing. And it's really good. It's really flexible. That's what I like. But it's also, they feel very comfortable. Like as a woman is going to feel very comfortable. I talk to my female friends and I ask them this stuff. And I'm like, what do you like? Unfortunately, some of them will tell me that they don't think a coffee is a real date. I tell them that if they don't think it's a real date, that at least it's the preemptive. It's like, okay, like I just want to see if we even have anything in common. And then maybe we would do the dinner. Or then we would do the bowling alley or something. But like, I'm kind of now regressing, and I'm kind of like, instead of going for drinks, it's either like drinks or coffee or a walk. Even a walk is really funny. I met this guy recently named Dwayne at my meetup, and we're talking the other night, and he told me that he thinks the walk is the best date you'll ever have. Now, he's a little older, but he says the walk is the perfect date, because he goes, you can end it so quickly. You know, it's outdoors, it's nice, right? You know, it's cute. You know, it's usually like, it's 9 times out of 10, if not 100% of the time, it's like some public park downtown, right? So everyone's safe. Like, you know what I mean? There's no weirdness there. It's like, I went on a date the other day with this Japanese lady. She's really, really cute. And we picked just like the public gardens. Now, if you're familiar with where I live, the public gardens, it's completely open. Like, it's not like some woods or something, you know, then there's couples everywhere. So that's the idea, right? You're in a very warm location, and very casual. And then if I wanted to get out of there, we could just do a couple loops and leave, right? And you're literally out nothing except your time, right? And if you, like, dolled up a little bit. I always say that for the guy, too. A guy does usually put some effort into his appearance as well. Maybe not as much as a woman, but, you know, you to a degree. And both of your time is valuable. So, like, you know, if it's not going well, don't extend it. Don't make it like an hour. But if it did go well, you could do something after. Like, hey, do you want to grab lunch? And you could do that. That's what I mean. That's I like that. I'm the same league, man. Average dude. Haven't been single since 2019, but I was on those apps for 6 months. Had 2 to 3 dates a week before settling down, and banged 8 chicks. Yeah, it's interesting. Like I said, I had a lady on the go, man. I just kind of let her go. I wasn't feeling it. You know, I've kind of done that more than once. So that's why, like, people always ask if I ever had, like, success. Yes, but, I mean, you only want to hear about not success. That's the more entertaining content, right? But, yeah, I mean, I just think it's, like, realistic. The dating thing it's always so wild to me. Because, like, it's what I get views on YouTube, and I think people just look at me because I'm just relatable. And women, too, man. It's not just dudes. Like, it's women that come to me as well, and they're like, man, like, you're just spot on. And because I'm just coming at it from the average person's experience, you know what I mean? If online dating worked, they'd be out of business, right? If everyone was getting matches and going on dates and like deleting apps, trust me, they'd make no money. You know what's funny, by the way, too? The other day there was a Reddit post on like a week ago, I think on r/Tinder, and they were talking about how Bumble is losing so much money right now. Like they're like hemorrhaging. I wouldn't even be surprised, by the way, if Bumble like just eventually just faded out into the darkness, you know. I mean, I like Bumble, but I think what the problem is like they have a lot of people, and guess what? Everybody just uses it for free, right? I also just hate the comments I'll get on YouTube when people are like, "Oh, by the way, like you're lying. Bumble's not free. Like I have to pay to see my like." Like no, just like 4 profiles and she'll come up. Don't pay for it. Yeah, let's keep going. All right, here we go. My worst date ever by TXIN girl. Okay. This would be one where the guy took me out for a really nice dinner, something I could never afford on a regular day. It was a fantastic dinner, great food, drinks, okay conversation, where he talked about himself most of the time until he remembered he was with someone. That's really awkward too. Yeah, that's always really awkward when people like do that on dates. Even meeting somebody for the first time, if you're not even on a date and they're just like me. There was this dude, man, that was like went on. I wouldn't even call it a date. He was like, it was like platonic. He went out with my friend, like this girl I know, and he was like, oh, like I'm like we're hanging out, and he's like, oh yeah, like listen, like you want to get together tonight for a coffee? He's like, I'd really like to talk to you about my plans and aspirations, and I'm like, bro, that's like the worst thing you could have said, like, you know. P.S. I just deleted Bumble. Congratulations, you'll be back. That's always how it goes, man. Every time I say I'm gonna delete dating apps or I'm gonna delete Bumble, I'm gonna purge. I'd give it like a month, and I'm usually back. I just like it because it's like low effort. You can just put Tinder on in the background. You never think about it. You're like, all right, whatever. Like, oh, I gotta like that's what I mean. Like I could be on there for like 2 months without getting a match, but when I get a match, it's like, oh, I just get the notification. Oh, right on. But I'm not like sitting there every 3 seconds checking it, you know. Time to pay. The guy had a coupon, which I don't mind. I'm all for saving money. I think it's funny that she brought that up. I'm just throwing it out there because like she said like she couldn't have afforded it on a regular day. So like, he obviously like took her to like some upscale joint and then whipped out a coupon. That's smart, bro. That's smart. Anyway. However, this coupon, which was for a free meal up to $50, had expired like a year before. Our bill came up to about $47 and some change. Okay, I'm gonna break it down. Guys, gals in the chat, I want you to tell me something, okay? Am I wrong here? Is that not cheap for 2 people? Dinner, drinks at a nice diner, but still, and you're telling me he paid $47 and some change? That's all it was? I can guarantee you right now, everybody that watches this video, whether it be like on YouTube after it being live, like post-dated or whatever, as a VOD, everybody would agree. You like, no matter who you are, if you go to a restaurant nowadays for 2 people, you are not paying $47. You are paying, like, I would say, like, you're probably paying for a meal alone about $25 without drinks. Yeah, Hinge's motto is to be deleted. Yeah, it's a funny thing that they write that, you know, because I think people delete Hinge probably because it's just not working. I don't think people delete Hinge because they're like, wow, I got a match, I don't need it anymore. I actually would rather just put it like into like a private mode, and then you just don't have to make it when you eventually come back to it. Yeah, the comment was years ago. I know it's 9 years ago, but I'm just saying it just shows its age. There's no way you're paying $47 for 2 people. Could you imagine that? Dude, I'd be doing dinner dates all the time. It'd be cheaper. Waiter came back and said that the coupon wouldn't work. And asked if we had another way to pay. Guy said he didn't have his wallet and just wanted to dine and dash. Oh, dude. Don't even go on dates with these guys, okay? That do this shit. I said no and paid with my card. I pulled some cash out to tip the waiter. Don't like tipping on a card. Yeah, I mean, I would rather tip on a card because it's not awkward, right? I normally tip like 10%. I know tipping's apparently a bad thing around here. Like where I'm in Canada, you know, like you're expected to tip, especially in the States. But, I'd rather live somewhere where you're just not expected to tip and they get paid a decent wage. They get at least minimum wage here, like if you're just like a server or like above. But that's still low. That's not high. But yeah, I shouldn't be required to give you additional money on top of what that's baloney. But yeah, tipping on card, I would actually recommend because it's just not awkward. Where you're like, oh, can you give me back like 20? Like if I give like 2 20s and it's a 47, like, or say it's 45. I'm like, oh, like, just keep 3 for yourself. And they look at you right awkwardly. And I'm like, oh, okay, were you expecting all 5? Like, takeout for me and my wife is $40. Dude, I know. My buddy and I, that's where I was saying earlier that I'll, once I know what time we're getting together, we'll be a little bit here. We're gonna go out, probably just for a quick bite or something. And we used to go to Wendy's, like Wendy's, you know, fast food, right? We get 2 Baconator combos. It used to be like 20 something bucks or whatever for 2 people. It's really good, right? You get a medium root beer and all that. Nowadays it's like 35. It's closing on $40, dude. It's just ridiculous. Like I was saying that today to a barber, and I was like, dude, this is it's just atrocious. Like that's why I go to like Burger King, because it's cheap. It doesn't taste that great, but it's cheap. That's it. Anyway, he wants to dine and dash. That's where we're at. Yeah. That's ridiculous. So yeah, he was like, yeah, don't tip him. Or never mind, 1 second. I gotta go up. I said no and paid with my card. I pulled out some cash to tip the waiter because I don't like tipping on card. He said, don't tip him. Waiters get paid enough, and besides, he made the coupon invalid. Their job is to rip people off. Yeah, that's probably one of the worst things you could have said on a date, bud. I had worked as a waiter, and I took offense. I paid and tipped, and we left. It just got worse after, where he then refused to take me home until I threatened him. I took my loss on the meal because he would want to see me again to repay me. Oh, okay. Yeah, you know what? In that situation, like, and I didn't bother answering his numerous calls and texts, just block him. So, yeah, that's a really rough one. Obviously the guy's completely in the wrong, but you know what? Like, you could have did, if you would have took, like, the chip on the shoulder as the dude, be like, you know what? Hey, listen, I acted rough there. Let me, Vimo. Is that what it is? Vimo? Vimo? Let me send you the money, right? My half, right? Let me send you the half. We'll split, right? We'll split, right? When I get home. And, you know, and if you don't want to hang out more, that's fine, right? I'm guaranteeing you, if that would have happened, she wouldn't have wrote here. But he obviously took offense, was like, okay, I have to, like, now he has an excuse to go with her again, because he's like, well, I can repay you, which is just ridiculous. I'm not pissed in the sense that the girl had to pay for the date. It's not good that he didn't bring a wallet. That was my problem. It was like she was forced to. If she wanted to, it was up to her. I was like, oh, I can, you know, but with the coupon too, just let it go. You know, be like, oh, crap, do you mind getting this? And I'll Venmo you the money. That would have been completely saved. Bro, I slammed Burger King massive in college. They had 20 nugget for... Oh, dude. 10 nuggets for... Okay. Yeah, I mean, even 10. Yeah, that's insane. Burger King, dude, I do the King Meal deal. $5.99. It's 2 burgers, small fry, and a small pop. I just get lemonade, small fries, and then I get the Chicken Little, which is basically a junior chicken, but a Chicken Little. And honestly, it's not that bad. It's not great. And if you're really not feeling all of that, like if you're like, that's kind of a lot of food for $5.99, what I do is I just poach one of the burgers, like I just put it in my bag, and I'll just come home and like mic it like later and just eat it. It's fine. KFC, that's the one you gotta watch out for. You don't have that as leftovers. You don't even have that fresh. It's just disgusting. All right, let's keep going. Okay, this is another good one. Okay, here we go. Where's State? Massive crush on a guy for months, and he finally asks me out. I was so nervous that I drank half a bottle of port on an empty stomach before going to meet him. I've never done that, by the way, too. The drink before meeting a girl. I'll, like, if I'm going for drinks and I get there before her, which is pretty standard, right? You go, like, 10 minutes prior, right? I'll sip a drink, but I'm not gonna, like, down schnapps in a car and, like, then run in, right? One girl did that, though, to me. She came up pretty buzzed up, if not drunk. And it was a big turnoff for me, too. I didn't like it. Because we were going out for a drink. Like, I was literally in, like, business casual. Like, I was straight out of work. And she knew that. Was, like, straight out of work. And I was just, like, sipping a beer, like a Dirty Blonde or something. And, I don't know, maybe a Stella. Stella's usually what I would go for if I'm having a beer. That's kind of light. I was like, I'll have a Stella. And then I'll just, like, sip that as we go. And then I'll just match her speed. If they're going really fast, and I'm like, all right, Matt, I'm going to match that. And then we'll just power through it. All right. We head out and he takes me to a new bar his friend had just opened. Champagne on the house. Oh, wow. Okay, that's exciting. Everything was becoming a blur and I was feeling no pain. All right, that's a bit much. We head back to his place via cab, and that's not a good idea. This is where I recreated the scene from The Exorcist in the back of the vehicle. Mostly it's... Okay, so she's probably thrown up a few times. After him tipping the cabbie an extra 50 to fumigate. Yep, of course. We go into his flat. We both agree I need a bath. Cue hot soapy bubbles. Okay. And I managed to lock the door and sink under the sweet scented foam. Okay. Okay, so they've banged. Horrific hangover. Bathroom door kicked down and door frame and splinters. When I asked if we did it, he replied in the negative, stating it would have been... Oh, okay. I don't understand. That was just a mess. Let's, yeah. Let's see here. What do we got? Okay, here we go. We got Milady. That's what I like to read. Okay, so something like 10 years ago, and you, by the way, too, this comment is 9 years ago. So this is like 19 years ago that this guy's talking about. Like, you gotta remember, like the early 2000s, we're 2023, right? Like, early 2000s, right? Like, Plenty of Fish, OkCupid, eHarmony. They were around. They existed. And that's why, like, when you guys will see me do, like, dating app reviews, some of them will be, like, features, and it'll be like, oh, like, you can pay to have a text message sent to you, because it was so new, right? Like, they were on websites. Like, you logged into a website to do it. You didn't log into an app on your phone. You didn't even log in, like, on an app. You just open it, right? And it's just there. But yeah, you legit did that, and they weren't, like, I wouldn't say they were super popular, but they started getting very popular, you know, like, especially these couple sites. That's why, like, Plenty of Fish is still, like, relevant, because it was so, like, it was grandfathered. Like, look at like guys who do YouTube, like Wings of Redemption, Boogie2998, right? Guys that were in there way before and are really not that popular now, but it's still a few people watch them, right? But back in the day, man, they were grandfathered. They were in there early, and that's what got them their popularity. Something like 10 years ago, I met this girl online. Probably MySpace or Friendster or something like that. Doesn't even know. Could have been all of the above. Anyway, we start chatting, and her pictures are all great. Super cute face, etc., etc. So one day we're talking, and we go to see a movie. Keep in mind, we haven't met in person at this point, and that's a really bad idea. Movie with nothing beforehand, you can literally not talk to her. You can, like, go in the movie and, like, shrug her once and twice and be like, oh, that was funny. Like, you're not, you know what I mean? You're not going to get to know her on any level. You'd rather just go to a party and just, like, stare at somebody for 2 hours and be like, that was our date. That's pretty much what you've done. Anyway. Okay. I was working the day before, and, yeah. I was working the day before the movie, and she's like, oh, yeah, I'm going to be in the area. Mind if I stop by? Hell yeah. Come on by. Again, the pictures I saw looked awesome, so I was pretty stoked. Waiting for this cute girl to stop by. I've got a few swear words in here, but I just leave those out, just in case monetization. So she did show up, and Oliver. Oh, well, we already know where that's going. So the moment that I found out about the MySpace Angel, wow, I didn't want to be an arse about it, but I was pretty lonely at the time, so I was like, let's do it. We talked for a bit and go to the movie later on. Okay, so it's like, I think she came over, and then they went to the movie, which, yeah, I don't recommend any of this, but I think in the early days of online dating, that was maybe a little bit more common. Like safety wasn't as known, if that makes sense, like common sense. Like, I think people just didn't understand the dangers of meeting someone online, you know? Cool. This girl was smitten. She was all over me, but I was not replicating that. I just couldn't do it. She was nice and all, but just no. So I wasn't into her. I think she was probably bigger. I think that's what he was insinuating earlier. After the movie's over, we were walking out to the car when we got to our cars. Okay, and that's good. I always say this, by the way, too. I don't understand why. I don't understand why women, like, guys and women will, like, drive together to a first date when they've never met. Take your separate cars, man. It's so much better. You want to get out of there, you can just leave. Okay, she leaned in for a kiss, and I leaned out of it, shook her hand like I met the president, and just gave her an invisible hat tip. That's classy, dude. Where you go like that? Classy. He obviously wasn't interested. Never spoke to her again. That's really funny. The Boogie2998 documentary skate. Oh, okay, so you mean that newest one by, Mike Spez, or whatever his name is? That was excellent. That was an excellent documentary. I know a lot of people, like, in the comments would compare him to, like, that Sunny channel. I forget the name, but Sunny something. But he does, like, a lot more, like, YouTube drama. So I think he's covered Wings, but not. And then, what's it, like, Turkey Tom? He'll do, like, kind of like he'll do some of those. There's, like, the Rise and Fall channel. I think that's not the same one, I think. But this documentary was really good. There's a scene in Boogie's documentary. If you're not aware who he is, by the way, Boogie2998. Veteran YouTuber, grandfathered in. He's been there for years, right? Like, literally, like, 20 years he's been doing YouTube, right? This guy's got, like, 4 million subscribers, and he gets 10,000 views on a video. I have 1,400 subscribers, and I have videos getting more views than him. It's actually, not all of them, obviously, but, like, some of them. And it's actually kind of insane. Like, if you just think about it on the regular, you know what I mean? You want a certain percentage. Like, if I have 1,000 subscribers, and most of my videos get, like, 100 to 200 videos, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. If you have 4 million subscribers, and you get 10,000 views on a video, that's not really good. Like, they're dead subscribers. Anyway, he's in the video, and the whole documentary is extremely depressing. Not for me though. I don't get depressed like that, so I just watch that stuff. I find it very entertaining. But I also know who he is. Like, I'm very well informed on who he is. But there's a scene that just struck me, man. He's in the room with all these arcade machines behind him, right? Like dozens of them, and he's complaining about how his financial situation is really, really tight. Like, he's literally down to like nothing or negative. And like the whole time he's talking, these machines are lighting up like Pac-Man and stuff like that. Do you know how much a Pac-Man arcade machine goes for? You know, like, those aren't cheap. And just like, apparently he's been selling stuff, but that scene right there showed it all. Is he's not willing to let go, you know? And like, even him like in the scene where he was like going to get a job was like so rough to watch. Like, he was straight up. He's like, yeah, I'm going to appear on a sex offender list, or not a sex offender list, a criminal, like if I do a criminal background, I have a criminal, because he fired the gun in the air and stuff. And they were like, oh, okay, well, that's not good. Like, what recent work experience do you have? And he's like, oh, yeah, I worked in the porn industry. And the girl actually is like, do you really think that you would bring that up in an interview? And Boogie had the audacity to say yes. I was like, bro. Geno Samuel's documentary on Chris Cran is great. I don't know, I'm not sure who that is. Chris Chan. I gotta look that up. Oh, God. I think I've seen this person before. Yes, I think I've seen this person before. Oh, I see incest. Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure that I've seen something on him. And yeah, Mike Klum. That's who it is. Mike Klum. Yeah, he was excellent. I really hope he continues. He put good work into that. And I actually really liked, after the job interview, Mike edits it in where he has his phone and he's got an audio message from Boogie and he plays it. And you could just look at him shaking his head like he's right depressed. And it's like, Boogie's just like, yeah, I'm not going to get a job, man. I'm just 4 million subscribers. I'm going to keep going. And you're like, dude, really? Like, we're trying to help you, you know? I always said that about Wings of Redemption as well. Wings of Redemption, same idea. You know, a bunch of crap happened to him, grandfathered in kind of thing. And then, anyway, yeah, he's really fallen down. But after his fight with Boogie, they got into the ring and they had a boxing match. Boogie really had a big uplift. Like, people like really wanted to support him. And it's funny that you'll see a lot of those like troll channels. All the comments were supportive. Like, they're trolling him, but they're like, dude, we just want you to be better. Like, we want you to be healthy. We want you to have a good time. We want you to be positive. And like, one thing I always noted, if you guys ever watched Ethan and Eli, H3 podcast, or the channel before the podcast, when they would make fun of channels, people that were like actually embraced being kind of like made fun of and like embraced memes did well, dude. They got like, they had a big following and they just embraced it. They were like, yeah, that was funny, that was a meme, and they just went with it. I've been following Boogie before he got surgery and divorced. Been watching him for like 10 years. Yeah, that's it. I think a lot of people watch these guys and they relate to him. You know, Boogie, I think, just came across as a really relatable guy. That's what I kind of go for. But yeah, I think he kind of came across as relatable. And then people just stopped wanting to hear about his money and his money and his money and his money and his problems. Now he's dating a girl that's 20, bro, and he's 49. I don't care, like, that it's a consenting adult thing. They started texting on Instagram when she was, like, what, 19 or possibly before? I think it was 19, though. She messaged him because she was a fan. They started bonding through, like, trauma, and now they're dating. And if you look at them, bro, the comments on the YouTube channels are always like, oh, so glad you could take your daughter out to, like, a Sunday. It's disgusting. I don't like it. I really don't. And, like, he's admitted in his videos that he could be dead in, like, less than 10 years. And you're, like, this girl's like, oh, I need him. I need him. Like, he's my everything. Like, dude, you're potentially leaving this girl. Like, can you imagine, like, if they trauma bonded already, can you imagine the trauma that'd be after that? That's insane. Yeah, really sad. But if you guys want to check it out, man, do check it out. Mike Klum. Check. It's like, I forget the title specifically, but it's like the depressing tale of like Wings of Redemption or something. I'm not trying to, like, I don't know. I guess I'll advertise it. I don't know. I don't really care. Hey, there's me. Yeah, Mike Klum here. Let's look him up. Yeah, this right here. He's got, like, literally, well, 2 videos. One's a trailer for it. This right here, The Dark Side Life of Boogie 2998. Excellent documentary, dude. It, like, yeah, even Boogie's promoting it. He's like, yeah, go check this out. Because it obviously gets people to go look at him, right? Like, think about it, right? It's smart. Like, you go watch that, now you want to go see the real thing, right? No, really, really eye-opening documentary. And realistic. Like, it's just a realistic documentary, you know what I mean? Like, just of the real struggles that someone can go through. Yeah. I think, like, I don't know. I always just think, like, when people, like, talk money on YouTube, like, I make, like, $100 a month, man. I'm stoked. dude, that's gas. That's a case of beer too. That's McDonald's a couple times, you know? But like these guys that are making like dude, he was making like what, 500K in a year? Holy crap, you know? And then you come on there and you're like, dude, I really need your money, guys. I really need your money. I was like, bro, you know? And then all these, like all the escorts he was getting too. Apparently he spent like upwards of like 200K on escorts. So I was like, that's crazy. Anyway, that kind of worked with online dating. That was escorts in there. All right, let's move it along. Okay, here we go. We got a bad one. I always read like the first line or two because I need to make sure, I need to verify we're getting a bad one. 9 years ago. I've told the story on Reddit before, but it's always a good one. I went on my first date and the guy was a bit odd, but it's okay. It's cool. I can do odd. He had a bachelor's degree in IT. Attaboy. Yeah, massive degree in IT, but was unemployed and living in his grandma's house. Now, I'm not a fan of that part. Not my idea of a turn on, but I can deal. Okay, so far she's kind of putting up with a lot in my opinion, but that's fine. Went to get Indian food, which I love. We enjoy the food and talk a bit more. He never had a long-term relationship and only slept with one girl. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of in the same boat. That's kind of me. But he's being honest about that, and I can't fault that. That to me is not a red flag. He's being open and honest. And if you don't like that about him, you are more than welcome to not pursue it. But I would rather someone say that, like, hey, I'm not very experienced. So the one girl I've hung out with and kind of dated for a bit, for, you know, a couple months, I don't have a lot of experience, or didn't, and should say that, you know, no winky face in there, but you know what I mean. And she hadn't a lot of experience. She didn't have any experience with actual, like, relationships, more just casual. So it was actually kind of interesting. And I think, again, if you're going to be open and honest and from the get-go, it just is a lot better. You don't have to be too honest, but you want to be honest. But the idea that he was, like, unemployed and living in his grandma's house, I don't really like. That's not good. That would not be a turn on to me. If I meet a girl that's like, I live with my mom and I don't work, I would not be very much into her already. It's like, well, are you getting work? And if they're like, oh no, I'll be like, I'm okay. A lot of red flags at this point, but I like the conversation, and the guy seems a bit lonely. So you know what? Let's do it. Let's hang out for a bit. So I'm working on my exit strategy afterward. Then it happened. Dinner was over. We were about to head on our way, and before we could though, he picked up the plate and licked it. Licked it clean at that. Not a single lick, but the whole plate. That's kind of wild. That's an animal behavior. That's not even like a bad date behavior of like a dude or something. That's literally just an animal. After my amazement, he invited me back to his place, well, his grandma's place, and I politely declined, which is kind of wild. And then she sat him down and did explain some things, maybe that were a bit much. I think the constructive criticism is a lot, but like, I do agree. The comment below it says, most people would not have taken the time to do that. I agree. Most people won't tell you. They'll just leave and you'll never know what you did wrong. That guy, honestly, might have been completely oblivious. That was completely ridiculous. I was going to say another word, but... oh, yeah, and girl has a massive daddy issues, which is sad. Yeah, that's the Boogie 2988 documentary. Yeah, the girl, it's really unfortunate, man. She does. She, like, from what you can hear in the video, and it sounds really sad when she's talking about her, like, family and stuff, and she, like, kind of doesn't really have anyone, so she's like, well, all I need is Boogie. It's like, dude, like, you were putting everything on this one guy. Like, she's now his, like, caretaker, basically, and it's not good. It's not good. Okay, that wasn't it. Oh, here we go. Okay, we're gonna skip the best part. Worst, Valentine's Day in 2013. Getting a little newer. Met up with my girlfriend after school with plans for a really nice date around local sites. Arrived with the sickly cliche flowers and chocolate and promptly give them to her. Then she lies and says she has to be somewhere for 30 minutes and runs off. 10 minutes later, I get a text saying, sorry, I'm back with Angus now. Thanks for the flowers. We're obviously an ex. Yeah, so that's obviously, that's not a good story. Oh, here we go. Okay, I like getting the dude perspective too. Okay, worst date was probably ever when I was a teenager. I really liked this one girl, and we'd been dating for a long time, but never really had any special dates, if you know what I mean. So we decided after a while we were going to go do something fancy. I made a huge plan like any teenager would, with a fresh driver's license would. Oh, dude, you're a teenager, dude. You're like 16. You've been hanging out with this chick. You know, you're hanging out at the playground. I don't know what you do at 16. You're playing video games. You know, you're beating her in Smash Bros. And you're like, you know what? I'm going to take her out. Like, well, I'm going to make an official date. Yeah, you would. You would take her in the car. You'd make it a big thing, right? You'd go way overboard. Because that's what a teenager's going to do. So we drive to this huge city an hour away, which was neat because it was the first time we'd gotten to go to it on our own. But driving it was so scary. I was planning on taking her to this nice hill that overlooked the entire city and seeing if she wanted to lose our virginity together. Oh, snap. I'm just kidding. That's funny. So I'm driving these new roads, and I take the wrong road. I try a three-point turn in someone's driveway, and it's on a blind turn at night in the rain. I can see headlights coming around the turn, and I have no chance to reverse out of it. So we sit in the car in the person's driveway for like half an hour before we get out. Okay, that's funny. I guess they were going to sit in the car and like get to coitus. Then she's like, where are we going? And I was trying to make the hill overlooking the city a surprise, and I didn't want to tell her, but she kept insisting. So I told her, and she goes, oh, let's go eat instead. I'm down to eat. She just doesn't care where they want to eat, so we go to this, so I throw out some fancy restaurant ideas, and she shoots them all down. I wanted to go somewhere nice because I actually had money and had never been on a really nice date before. This was supposed to be a fancy date by my standards, so she's finally like, I'm really craving McDonald's. Do you care if we go there? And he's like, yeah, this is fine. I don't really care. I'm driving around this city traffic wanting a break, so we go there. And I ask what she wants. Nothing. She isn't hungry there when she gets there. So, F that. She's like, I get a McChicken, and we head back to my place because it's getting late. I'm not going to lie to you, by the way. If you get a girl that's like, hey, I want to go to McDonald's on a first date, you know what? I'm not going to lie to you. I would take that. She's a keeper. If you just want to go get a couple of junior chickens, I'm down with that. I'm not going to have a problem. We hang out in my room, and we're talking and making out. I ask her if she wants to, what she wants to do, and she's like, you know. But I know being the B word here, I was like, I played it off, and I was like, let's try having sex. I'm like, my whole family are just a room over in the living room, and we can't. And she doesn't understand why I won't lose my virginity with my family next door. Okay, so she wants to initiate, but he's like, well, my family's in literally the room next door. She takes it so personal, like I'm insulting her, and insists I take her home, so I do. I tried talking to her about it on the way home, and she just refuses to speak to me. She's half crying. Finally, I'm like, I don't know why you're acting like this. Like, I don't know why you're acting like this. I don't get what your problem is. Dropped her off and left. She called me the next day and said she wouldn't talk to me anymore, and that was that. Wow, that's not where I didn't expect to go that way. I don't think people like handling rejection really well, and I just think it's funny that like obviously she had like built that up in her mind of like this is what's gonna happen, and Buddy made really logical sense. He's like, literally my parents are within a foot of wall next to us. This is probably not a really good idea. You know, like not here anyway. And yeah, that's unfortunately how that goes. That's really bad. Let's see, okay, that's a good one. We don't need to read that. Okay. Okay, I'm not reading that one either. That's some coarse language, guys. I had some coarse language in it. 1 second here. I just need to see what Buddy's saying. I think I'm still expecting him. Or I hope I am, anyway. I want to see him. Hit up Wendy's and cry when we go to pay the bill, bro. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the stream, by the way. If I'm not hopefully boring you. I hope the music is also good as well. I've been meaning to do that in the streams. I think it's kind of good just to have something kind of just chilling in the background. You know, instead of just me, like, losing my voice the whole time. What do we got here? Okay. Okay, we'll have to end the stream soon. He just wrote back to me now, so... Okay. I got like another 10 minutes. That's what I got. Okay. Yeah, I'd say about 10 minutes is probably what's going to take him, give or take. Okay, so yeah, we got probably about another 10 minutes, guys. And then I'm going to go fist some Wendy's, I think. So let's read a few more. Met a guy online and agreed to meet him in person. He was pleasing to the eye on all of his photos. When he arrived, I was relieved that he looked like his pictures, and then he opened his mouth. He was missing about 7 or 8 teeth, and I could not stop looking at his mouth. It was nauseating, especially when he tried to kiss me. He bragged about his success through the date, owned his house, and a car and a motorbike. By 29, yet he did nothing about his teeth. Okay, I'm just going to argue that real quick. I'm just in defense. I don't have the nicest teeth either, but I'm going to argue that maybe that was recent that he lost them, because he clearly lost them. Like, he could have got, like, kicked. He could have played hockey and got, like, suckered into the bar and lost half his teeth. I mean... Yeah, and like maybe he was getting some recently pulled. That could have been the work he was doing. We don't know. That's the only thing I'll argue there. I don't necessarily think that was as bad as that person made it. That was a dominatrix one. Okay, here we go. Okay, I had a second date with this girl, and right before we were supposed to meet, she got called by her work to go across town to close another location. She knew it would be a while, so she recommended we reschedule for the next day, which is fine. That's fine. She seemed really sorry, apologized profusely about it. She wasn't flaky or anything, and mentioned how cute she dressed because she was so excited. I figured she was telling the truth because we really hit it off for the first time and eager to hang out again. I would believe that. I would believe that. If someone cancels a date and then is like eager to reschedule just to the next day, like literally, okay, hey, like we just to meet Saturday, can we just meet Sunday? That's fine. That's fine. I have no problem with that. That's good. Okay. I was really disappointed, but she was upfront and rescheduled quickly. Then the next day, she never showed up. Now, that's where I would have a problem. I texted her, waited an hour, called her, and got her machine, and then left. Sent a message the next day hoping we just got mixed up, but never got a response. I don't go on many dates to begin with, and even though I barely knew her, it was a confidence crusher. I haven't felt like asking anybody else out since, because I don't know what went wrong, and I'd rather not make that mistake again. And I should make it clear, he puts in an edit. A Reddit thing, by the way, you have to say that you edited. I wouldn't change a thing about what I did. I met a girl, yeah, and that's completely fair. I will say in that post, by the way, that is a completely fair thing to say, that if that happens to you, if you go on a date with somebody and then like the next date you're like, oh, okay, I've been ghosted, like I've been had, especially no-showed too, right? It's one thing like if a girl ghosts you, like just talking, just texting, and you're like, okay, I've been ghosted. That's happened to me. And I reflected on it. I probably could have did better. I came off needy, but I was like, all right, like maybe that wasn't all on me though. But we had 2 dates and she ghosted. And I was like, okay. But he got no-showed. Do you know how bad you would feel if you get no-showed on a second date with a girl? That's a confidence killer. I don't blame this guy at all. That is a confidence killer because you will immediately think you're the problem, right? And you just feel bad. You're like, what am I supposed to do, right? That is also, in my opinion, one of the most disrespectful things to do is no-show a date. I had a girl do that. I genuinely think she forgot about the date. We scheduled it like a few days in advance, and then when like almost a week in advance. I know. And we talked a little bit. Like, she wasn't a big texter, so we texted a little bit. I didn't text her the morning of, and I was like, let's just see if she shows up. I went out there. I had a dinner for one, and just had a drink for one, had a dinner for one, and left. And I texted her like halfway, like almost 3/4 through when I was about to leave. I was like, hey, I guess I missed you. She immediately tried to call me. I just hung up on her, and then she was like, oh, I'm so sorry, like whatever. My way of looking at it was very simple. If you couldn't keep that in your mind, that you had a date in like 4 days and you just forgot about it, then we didn't need to hang out. It wasn't worth it, right? It meant something to me, so I was there. I made sure to show up. Like, we had plans and everything. Thankfully, I bought Tinder for a week and got nothing. Yeah, that's funny. How much is a week, by the way, for Tinder? If you don't mind me asking, Mark, what did that run you, buddy? Because I think Tinder's pretty cheap now, yeah? Like, for a week anyway. I think it's only like $12 or something, or less. $9.99. Because I know there's different stages of Tinder, right? Like Tinder Gold, Tinder Plus, Tinder Platinum, right? I think. And then that newest one, Tinder Select, but we don't need to talk about that. But it's pretty cheap. Yeah, it's pretty cheap. I didn't realize I can add you guys as moderators. That's kind of funny. I just wanted to look at your profile picture real quick, but I was like, I just clicked on you and I was like, oh, that's weird. Yeah, just go a few more minutes here. I don't want him just showing up and I'm like scattering to try to get my crap together here. Probably one more. Okay, here we go. Last one of the day, guys, and we'll talk for a few minutes. I've told this story before, so I'm just going to copy and paste it. Plus, I've gotten to a point where I love telling it. We all have those stories at this point. So it's a very nice summer evening in early August. My girlfriend, we'll call her Sam at the time, we're going out for dinner at a local steakhouse. Halfway through our reasonably priced meal, Sam went to relieve herself. I, however, did not. And fast forward 30 minutes. I had paid for the meal, and we were on our way to Sam's house. It was at this point I realized I should have went to the restroom at the restaurant, but I was thinking, master my own domain. I'm good. After a few minutes of walking, and I see a public restroom, but as I previously stated, I am the master of my own domain. We're only a block away from our house, so you're like, all right, I'm good, but he's getting pressure in his lower parts there. I remember saying, I got this. We're now at her house, and the pressure is at an all-time high as she reaches for the gate, and the floodgates release. But I have a plan. So we enter her house, and so far, she hasn't shown a single sign of noticing. There was no smell, at least an average fart at most. Okay, so she probably pooped. I made a beeline straight for the washroom to inspect the damage. Everything was still fine, but I just had to remove my underwear. Okay, we don't need to read the rest of that. But basically, he pooped himself. All right. No, I just wanted, wow. Yeah, I just wanted something else. All right. Yeah, that's fine. $19 for a week of Tinder? That's a lot. Thinking about going for older millennials or younger Gen X Zoomers are terrible. Yeah, I don't blame you. Older millennials are probably your better bet. Like, I guess I'm a millennial. I just feel like we have common sense. Gen X, I don't know, man. You have to get, like, really lucky with those. With those folks. Like, you really do. You have to... you gotta, like, cross your fingers if you're gonna get that. What time were we looking at there? I'm trying to see what he's saying here. 1 second, guys. I'm just trying to figure out what time. 5:50. Okay. It doesn't tell me what time. Oh, 6:40. Okay. You have 7 minutes. Yeah, I'll probably wrap up here in about a minute because I gotta make sure. I just don't want to run out the door like I gotta shut this down and then go meet him. I've had first dates where we make out and had a great time. Then I get ghosted. I have no idea. Yeah, I agree. You know, a lot of women will look at it like a lot of guys will try to just get laid with them and then bounce. Like they won't be interested in talking to them anymore. And that's a completely understandable thing to say. But like then it's like the other way around for us sometimes as well. Like I've had girls that will just like kind of want to go straight to the business and I want to get to know them. And I'm like, dude, like, so that's, yeah, just be clear with your intentions. You know, that's all I can say. All right, guys, so we're going to wrap up so I can go meet Gucci and we can go get some Wendy's. Thanks for coming in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to schedule the next stream in advance. I'm going to keep this going. So we'll do Thursday, week from today, same time. You better be here. I don't know. We'll probably just keep doing Reddit date fails. It's not like I'm going to like play Guild Wars 2 the whole time. You know, you can just watch me play. We're not going to do that. We're going to talk. So hopefully you've enjoyed the stream. I appreciate it. If you're checking out on YouTube after the fact, thank you as well. And if you guys have dating app reviews that you want to happen, let me know. Let me know. Rhea's coming, as we talked about earlier. Rhea's coming. The League is coming. Probably the League first, because I don't know if I'm getting in Rhea. And Field, the Field dating app as well. That's coming in. I don't know. Isn't that like an X-Men that does that? I don't know. What's his name? The guy that has the blades. I just forgot his name. But yeah, he's got like the 2 blades like that. Anyway, you know who I'm talking about. All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you in the next one. Upload's coming out. I'm going to upload probably tomorrow, like an actually legitimate video. Not online dating, so you'll have to unfortunately suffer. Thanks for the dating app review. Entertaining. No problem, man. Thanks for coming in, Steve-O. Thanks for checking out the stream, man. I do appreciate that. You had a lot of you guys were chatting tonight, and that's really awesome. I actually really appreciate that. It makes me want to stream more when you guys chat. I'm actually a little upset that I'm going to see him because I would totally have kept going. But yeah, we'll do Thursday the same time, same place, same topic. So yeah, just gotta figure what the hell I gotta do to close the stream down. All right, thanks for watching. I'll do a salute.